What's good, YouTube? Prince here to talk. Probably got a topic for a video, and I wanted to talk about it. Arcade sticks versus pads. Like, are arcade sticks better than pads? Will playing on an arcade stick make you better? I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Playing on an arcade stick or playing on a pad, it's totally a choice of preference. None of these two are gonna make you a better player or increase your execution, make you godlike. No, it's strictly just a preference on what you prefer to play. Like, for instance, if you grew up in the 90s and you played most fighting games, they were played on arcade cabinets, so you're probably going to prefer a stick. A stick might feel more comfortable to you than playing on a pad. Now, if you're like, I don't know, I guess in 09 or you've been playing most fighting games on pads, then your preference by default is a pad. There's no real need for you to go out of your way and buy an arcade stick unless you feel some type of way that maybe needed to play a certain character, or maybe that's not even true at all. Like, most people I know would want to play a stick just because the button responses are better, and that's what messes a lot of people up. Like, pads on like Xbox, like, they weren't really designed for fighting games, so sometimes the button response isn't as quick as an arcade stick. But you can go to like GameStop and buy a fight pad, and these are specially designed pads that are registered to have pinpoint button responses. Like, they have as much response as an arcade stick does, and they're in a layout that's suited for fighting games. So if you feel like, oh, your pad is terrible and you need something, you don't really need to go out of your way to buy an arcade stick. You pretty much just buy yourself a fight pad. They're like $60. I think I saw a low tier guy with some Mortal Kombat X fight pads. It's not really hard to find these fight pads. They're cheaper than an arcade stick. You get the same button response as an arcade stick, so you're pretty much set. Now, if you're one of those people and you're like, so arcade stick doesn't help me get better, like, what should I be doing? Just do you. Just focus on what you're doing wrong. Like, one thing I like to do is, like, I like to watch some of my old replays and, like, see what I'm doing wrong. It's like, focus on watching replays. If you're fighting a player that you just know straight up is just better than you, like, you know, just ask questions. Be like, hey, what am I doing wrong? Am I pressing too much buttons? Am I spacing wrong? Like, am I not punishing? Like, you know, just ask questions. Like, just focus on what you're doing. Focus on what you can do to make your gameplay better, rather than thinking about the tools. Because let's be honest, like, you gotta get good at a fighting game, whether it's Tekken or Street Fighter, before you can even think about making a switch to, like, maybe pad or stick. I played on stick before, but I don't actually own a stick, and I got decent at playing Tekken on a pad. So more or less at the end of the day, it's really just about you trying to get better at the game. Just ask questions, see what you're doing wrong, focus on what you're doing wrong, make some improvements, and then you'll be set. Now, if you want to try an arcade stick later down the road to see if that suits you better, then by all means, go ahead. But don't really think for any fact that it's going to make you better at the game. In fact, if you were someone that was already bad at a game and you were to get an arcade stick, you technically become worse, because now you're trying to adapt to the arcade stick and you're trying to, like, get your hands used to playing on the stick, and you're probably going to run into more execution error than what you would normally run into than playing on a pad, just because it's not your preference or you're not used to it. You're forcing it to become your preference, rather than it just being a natural feeling. So just keep that in mind. Like, you might be halting your progress doing something like that. So yeah, I ain't really got much else to talk about for the rest of the video, so I'm out for the rest of the match.
Round 4. Fight! Fight! You win!